All right, a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com, and welcome to Night Moves here for Saturday, June 27th. We're getting ready for a great Saturday of sports betting action here, including more action at the World Cup. We're starting to find out who's going where, who's playing who in the knockout rounds. More finals on Friday, more games on Saturday. We'll talk about them here in just a moment. We'll also cover a little bit of Major League Baseball here for Saturday. Full card of games after a fun Friday night in the major leagues, and there's some WNBA here once again. 3 more games on Saturday after 3 games on Friday, and maybe had a wild one in the CFL tonight, as expected there, and I hit my premium pick on the over. Why not? When those two teams got together in another wild CFL game, man, 40-34, Toronto won it. They were officially the home team, and even though it was in Saskatchewan, they played like the home team and won in a wild game there. Fun game there last night. I'm watching some footy here right now as well, some rugby going on. So yeah, we're watching some sports here. Going to talk some sports betting and some sports betting picks here. Also, just about 5.5 hours from right now, UFC from Azerbaijan. This is going to be a morning card, and I want you to check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com and get the card here for the action on Saturday. Check out my card here. I've got a 3-pack of main event or main card plays for tonight in Azerbaijan. Let me bring that up on the screen here, actually, and then we'll maybe look at the handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com as well from the action here on Friday night. But I've got a 3-pack of top plays, including the main event, and it's a pick 'em. So, hey, that's what I like to do, is pick the closest fights or the closest bets on the website. That's what I like to do. No $2 favorites here from me on Tony'sPicks.com. So check me out here with UFC Azerbaijan. That fight card begins at 9 a.m. Eastern Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Time, with that main event here. Lightweights, top 20 lightweights, Rafael Fiziev and Manuel Torres from Mexico. Yeah, a little bit of a home team edge maybe there for Fiziev. He's he's a Kazakh, but he's from also from Azerbaijan. Much of his career, fights out of Thailand right now, but Fiziev, the home team for sure, here as lightweights do battle here. Also, the undercard here, the co-main event here, Sharabullet Magomedov up against Pereira, and another hot fight here. You get Sharabullet told Tony today he can't come over here and fight in the U.S. because he wouldn't pass a physical because he's got a glass eye. But you can fight over in Azerbaijan. That's what we're going to do here. A good card here, 13 fights in just a few hours. So got some early sports action as well. And I got a 3-pack over there over at Tony'sPicks.com. Let's take a look at the handicapper leaderboards and recap some of the action as well, maybe here from first on Friday night. Certainly had some great games, so let's check out some of the action here from the scene and go over some of the finals. First, probably just quickly discuss the Mets situation. They did fire their manager, and Andy Green, the former Padres manager, has taken over for the Mets. Didn't result in a win, but they did hang there, and that one, as the Phillies did still won 2-1. Last year, the Mets fired most of their coaches after a bad second half. So whoever put this roster together, Zach Thornton pitched 6 good innings for the Mets. They're only the 18th time they've had 6 outs there, by the way. And Mets, though, go down to the Phillies 2-1 yesterday. Derek Hill made that great catch in the outfield, and Trey Turner had a game-winning RBI single in the 7th inning. The Mets have lost 7 straight. And see what happens there. But the Mets are last place. They're 16 games back right now. All right, Max Meyer had a great performance. Gave up 2 hits and 7 runs. And the Marlins beat the Cardinals. Marlins are an MLB best 17-5 this month as the Marlins shut out the Cardinals yesterday. Twins over the Rockies 9-8, a wild one. Minnesota led 7-0 after 7 innings, but Colorado scored 5 runs in the 9th to go ahead 8-7. Royce Lewis had the first career walk-off hit in that one. The Twins did get the win there. Also, A's smacked around the Angels yesterday 9-3 last night. Nick Kurtz 2 RBI in that one, and the A's scored 7 runs in the 5th inning to put that one away. Reds over the Bucks yesterday, 6-4. Marte, a pinch hit 2-run home run in the 8th inning was key. Paul Skeens loses again. Felt like I wanted Abbott. What was I thinking there? And they've gone 8 straight losses with Paul Skeens starting here. Reds, not good in the division. Didn't mention it here, but they are 3-16 in division play. Hey, my Padres got the win over the Dodgers. Walker Buehler got 16 outs, allowed just 3 hits against his old team. Ty France a home run. Padres have won 6 of 8. They beat the Dodgers 7-1. And you got to shout out the White Sox here over the Royals 22-1. Tristan Peters a grand slam, 6 RBI. Miguel Vargas 5 RBI. That was the most runs the White Sox have scored in 56 years. So pretty good. This White Sox team might be something special. You guys did have some other winners here. Also, Mizorowski, we did it again, 105.5 miles an hour on that fastball yesterday. Wow, what a job. The Miz there, and the Brewers won again there. So, man, Mizorowski, what's he going to do? Throw 106, get another mile an hour every game? Brewers won it 6-2. I couldn't find a winner in the National League here on Night Moves last night, but American League, we had some other winners in there. Took that Houston-Detroit under once we realized the total was a little bit high there. Also had the Night Moves winner, the Rangers and the Blue Jays there, as it was 5-4. Did go over as the Rangers were able to win on the road. Yankees and Red Sox, we had the winner there on the under with that one, 6-1. Red Sox won. I gave out the Red Sox on the drive-through yesterday as Peyton Toll looked really good. And you know who didn't look good? Contreras, looking like just a doofus out there. I mean, this is the kind of guy you'd like to say, I've been waiting. I want all this smoke. Also, Mariners and Guardians, we had the under there in the Cantillo-Castillo battle as it finished 3-1 in favor of the Mariners, winning again. And we might have had the White Sox here on the show last night. We also had Tampa Bay for a Night Moves winner there. Yeah, they were favored, but they won easily 6-1 behind Nick Martinez. Hey, NHL draft yesterday, and as expected, the Maple Leafs took McKenna of Penn State. Long been targeted for this spot. They've been saying he's going to be the number 1 pick in this draft probably for the last 3 years. So, as expected, he went there in that one. Okay, how about out at the World Cup? Did have a Night Moves winner last night with action here on Friday night. We had Senegal over Iraq, and they run 5-0 in that one. We took Senegal here on the show last night. We also had Night Moves winner with France and Norway over there in that one in the 4-1 victory for France. We saw Cape Verde tie against Saudi Arabia. I thought Cape Verde would win last night, but it didn't matter. They're the smallest nation ever to make the World Cup knockout stage after they drew Saudi Arabia in that one. Also, it was Spain beating Uruguay in just a 1-0 game there, but Spain got the win. It landed on 1 in that one. And right now, you got some teams out there at the World Cup that are crossing their fingers a little bit with those third place finishes, and that's where you're going to have to kind of avoid their when you get into that third place battle right there, you got teams like Iran's in there as well. They're going to be crossing their fingers. We'll talk about that one here right now in just a second, but certainly going to be sweating it out here tomorrow with 6 more games, and some of these third place teams trying to come through right now. So we'll see what happens. But Iran, they're waiting on the third place table. Saudi Arabia, their third place hopes are very slim. But Uruguay, they're out after that one. Senegal, excellent chance to advance out of the third place teams there from Group I. In Iran and Egypt, it was late drama, and the final finished 1-1 as Iran put a goal in 4 minutes into stoppage time, but the goal was wiped off for a offsides. Guy was offsides by a half a foot, and the goal was taken off. So Iran will have to sweat it out here right now if they're going to make it to the next round. Egypt and Belgium are in from Group G, but Iran will have to sweat it out, and they're really on the bubble. There also was Belgium crushing New Zealand and getting off there 5-1 as they smash, and they go, like I said, they go through there with Egypt there at the World Cup. So to have the team we know the teams that are already in. We know some of the matchups that are already in. It'll just be up to see what the last few teams there are, who they are going to be. All right. Let's say hello to the folks in the chat, then we'll go over to Tony'sPicks.com. Thank you, everybody, for joining me here for the action. All right, Larry, thank you. Oh, man, great. I hope that, Larry, you just relax there and watch the show. And maybe, I'm sure if it's good, it's probably really good. That's the one thing, and we're always nervous to get some treatment. But, man, it's always a relief when it's all said and done. We're going to keep on trucking. All right. And Timmy likes the fights here tonight. It's not all about mixed martial arts here. He's got some boxing for us here this evening. It's a huge card, actually, of combat sports here on Saturday. It really is a big one. And let's see here. Got any more? And there you go, Timmy. Yeah, Timmy. We talked about that game, huh? With the game, well, we didn't know what it was. There was no, you know what? And when I went back at it, I was like, what game did I give out there on the show last night? I didn't give out any pick on the show last night, but I did have the Giants actually as a premium pick. So Braves got it done, but McDonald looked good, and Lopez did look good as well. So. Thanks for the boxing information here, you guys. That's great. We're going to definitely show this with you guys. That's great. Thank you for the boxing picks here in the chat. Okay, let me go over to Tony'sPicks.com. We're going to take a look here at the premium picks of the handicappers and let's see who did well. I did have, as I said, the winner there in the CFL, but I lost my pick in the WNBA yesterday, and I dropped my Major League pick as well with the Giants. So I'm not on the leaderboard here. Let's take a look at who is on the leaderboard. With the action, David Racy, he loves that volume. And look at the David here with the 91% a day. Great job for David. Also, Brian Bittler, perfect day, 3-0. Tony T, perfect day, 3-0. Damian Sosh, 3-1. Tony's Picks VIP, 1-0. Shane Mickle, 2-1. Javon Jones, Stacks McKelvey, Nick Lagaretos, Ron Crawford, Al Ninos, all in the green on Friday. Last 7 days, KT Kevin Thomas up there over 70%. Brian Bittler also crushing it here right now, over 70%. Justin Stacks McKelvey, 67%. David Racy up 5 3/4 units, and Mills Young up there over 60%. Last 30 days, KT Kevin Thomas up over 16 units. David Racy's up almost 12 1/4 units. Al Ninos, 9 1/3 units of profit. Shane Mickle up over 8 units. Stacks McKelvey up 5 1/2 units this month. Click on the Premium Picks tab, and that you'll find out which handicappers are locked and loaded here for Saturday, like David Racy with a Saturday early afternoon MLB winner. Mills Young has his premium pick in the fights here. Also, Tony T, Super Saturday 3-pack of premium picks. I've got my MMA package up there as well, as we just said. Al Ninos has an MLB Saturday Grand Slam, and Hollywood Sam has his World Cup client parlay here, or a client play in the World Cup tomorrow. Also, Shane Mickle up there, premium pick in the WNBA. Tony's Picks VIP account, also Major League Baseball premium pick. Ron Crawford has his WNBA layup best bet. Bo Dunn has his premium pick in the WNBA, as does Sola Malone. Premium pick in the W here on Saturday. So good luck, everyone. And you can click on the All Cappers tab. That's how you'll find the handicapper of your choice. You can click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you can get signed up. Showing a little bit of profit here this week, but you see still I've managed to show a profit in several major categories here at Tony'sPicks.com. You're not going to find any capper with as many profitable sports here. We've got a great team, no doubt about it. And there's my Azerbaijan 3-pack. And we came through with some winners here, as I said, on Friday. Like I said, we had the Toronto game over. I also won with Ethan Quinn over Nuno Borges over there in tennis action. So finished there 2-3 on the day. That's not going to cut it. Let's win on Saturday. Okay, thanks a lot, fam, and let's get rolling here for the broadcast. And let's see what Larry says. Says Linda Cohn in her retirement there. Some talk about a legend right there. And I guess, she's definitely going to be doing her own, not quitting sports broadcasting, but like so many people, I don't know, you start to go out there on your own a little bit. I think that's the key here for some folks, right? You got YouTube, you got podcasting and everything, and you can do your own thing, and you got big following. So I've got you guys, and right now with having a great group of folks in here, 3 dozen of you, I'm loving talking sports with you guys, telling you my favorite topics as well. On the table, not just the picks, but how about my thought on the Stamps and the Lions? Says Kingsley. Kingsley, I've got to be honest with you. I usually save the CFL for the last picks of the show. No disrespect to the CFL, but that's just the way it goes here. Look, Calgary comes in 0-2. Rourke is great, but who's going to do it? Do the BC Lions, are they kind of beat up here coming to this game? I'm worried about their health overall in this game. So I'm kind of leaning towards the Stamps here with Vernon Adams in this one. So it is virtually a toss-up here right now, Kingsley. And, man, I was going to wait till the end, but I guess I don't want Kingsley to have to wait around. So I'm going to go with Calgary here in this one. I think with Philpott, I think with Brooks, I think with Mills, and I think with Vernon Adams. Look, Rourke is great, no doubt about it. But, I think we've got some, questionable status guys here. Some of the key guys, yes, Butler's doing a great job out of the backfield for the Lions here, but I'm concerned about the health of the Lions in this game. So I'm on the Calgary Stampeders. I guess because of Kingsley, I went with it right now to start the show. How about that? I'll just mark it here right now. Won't be a premium now. I was going to thank you to Kingsley, 305. It was a great game tonight, too, by the way. Was that ever a great game? All right. And Timmy's ready for the Hall of Fame game already. Another over tonight. There still have been just 2 unders all season so far. This is week 3, and there's 2 more games to go in week 3 right now. But so far, all overs except for 2 games. And Wimbledon ready to go. We saw some of the matchups. We're watching some qualifying as well right now. So, okay, did we cover enough here to get rolling? WNBA last night. We did see 3 games on the docket as Connecticut really shut down Washington here. So Connecticut's picked up a couple wins here over the last week or two. looking a little bit better. I thought Washington would be better than that. That's really kind of a bad loss for them to only manage 57 points. Chicago crushed again over Portland. They beat them by 30 at home this time. Man, maybe Chicago's picking it up. Camila Cardoso set a WNBA record for the most amount of field goals without a miss in that game. And it was a big number there by Chicago. And then Golden State did it again. They beat Atlanta at home in a near pick'em there yesterday. Somehow I was on Atlanta here on the show, I think, last night. So that was, or no, we had the over. It still went under as Golden State. I didn't have a good night in the WNBA. 78-75, Valkyries got the win, beat the Dream. So Golden State continue to find ways to win, and like I said, I think they're one of my favorites still. I know the other teams are doing pretty well here with the New York and Las Vegas here certainly right now, and Minnesota as well, but I've got that nice futures ticket on Golden State, and they crushed them there in the fourth quarter to get the win. Okay, let's go to the games here. We're going to start, of course, in the World Cup with 6 more games here on tap for Saturday, and they're getting started here at 3 p.m. Eastern and noon Pacific time. I'm sorry, no, tomorrow it's 5 p.m. Eastern and 2 p.m. Pacific time. They're really running these games. It's wall-to-wall soccer. We ain't waiting around. We're not having any studio analysis here between these games, pretty much. We are going wall-to-wall football here tomorrow. So let's get ready and go to the World Cup. First up at the Cup, England taking on Panama here. Man, England going to be a 2-goal favorite here. Panama 0-2 so far at the World Cup. 1-0 loss to Croatia, 1-0 loss to Ghana. And those weren't awful losses. I mean, 1-0 in each game. I think they did a credible job there in any ways. They did cover the number against Croatia, getting a goal and a half in that one. Now they're getting 2 goals from England. England couldn't cover 2.5 goals against Ghana in a 0-0 tie. What makes you think they're going to cover 2 goals here against Panama if they couldn't cover that? Now, they did beat up Croatia in a hot start to the tournament, 4-2. So, still, we know that England is much the best than Panama. Are they losing steam a little bit with just pushing against Ghana? I'm not saying here, like we said, England, once they start to disappoint, it does feel like, we start to get on their case a little bit, right? They're already through. But the group still matters. Panama, they're eliminated. So, look, that's probably right there the key for everybody, right? England should control it, of course, with possession and better chances. And if England's going to rotate or get the game to 2-0, I mean, they might not score again. The urgency could fade here a little bit. We did see some blowouts, obviously, on Friday. So, maybe the total might be the way to look. 3.5 for a game like this. I don't know. Is it really going to loosen up, or do they just go through the motions a little bit? What can Panama really do? They can break the number with just 1 goal. That's probably a fact. And England's recent profile with a 0-0 tie against Ghana, sure, that Croatia game, that was wild to have a 4-2 game, but Panama doesn't have any attack here, it seems like, right now, with no goals so far. So England will win comfortably, but the question is whether they need to keep pouring it on. And I would say here that I'm not sure that that's the case, but Panama just has very little finishing punch. So Panama probably will get a 0. It's just a matter of how many can England put on the board or be trying to put on the board here. So let's see what you got in this one. If Panama and Inglaterra. Got here, Larry. He'll take England to win. Okay, fair enough. This game, by the way, is being played at MetLife Stadium here, and England minus 575 on the money line. on the three-way. Farley does like England -2. And Timmy says they're doing it. You saw what Belgium did. Will we see that same type of game here in this one, especially with Panama, right? Without anything to play for, that is kind of maybe that we did see there that situation, right? With the games there on Friday by a couple of the teams that had already been ousted. Maybe if a team, yes, if they're one of the weaker teams, but they still hold out hope, if you know what I mean. Maybe they have just a little bit more there before they make that commitment there. So, all right, I'm with you guys. I'll do it. I will take England here. I got caught trying to think that the teams that didn't have that motivation were kind of letting up a little bit, but I don't know if we're seeing that to be the case. And I think that 2-0, you don't want to just play for a draw, but I mean that feels like the security here. But like I said, if Panama gets one, that might be trouble. Okay, thank you to Timmy in there. Let's move on here. We're going to continue on in this one with Croatia taking on Ghana here in Philadelphia. This group play continues. Oops. Okay, sorry about that, Bam. Just trying to get things square here so I can get my notes together a little bit. And so you got Croatia here favored by a half a goal at minus $1.35, total 2 over 40. You got to give credit. If you went to anywhere here, I guess for me, right, you look at the overall situation with all the different groups of teams, right? AFCON has come away with a big winner here right now. It feels like. Hold on one moment here. Okay. So AFCON has been the big winner, it feels like, here at the World Cup with the great performances by all the African nation teams. They've almost all overachieved to a team here, it feels like, in this one. Sure, the ones that are a little bit weaker maybe did fall just a tad short, or a couple in between there, but it feels like every other team has totally overachieved in this one. Croatia is the team that must force a result. Ghana is the team that can actually live with a draw here. So that makes it tricky, because Ghana is usually just a very conservative team. I mean, a lot of these African teams are somewhat conservative. And if you follow me, we've called the African competition the African Cup of Unders, because they always have very, very low scoring games. You have a total of 2 over 40 here in this one. Croatia certainly is a better World Cup pedigree, and they have urgency for sure here. Croatia does have confidence. I think their historic World Cup games against African opponents, actually, they are one of the nations that actually have very strong success against African opponents, but their form in the tournament certainly a little bit uneven here right now for Croatia, with 1 win and 1 loss. Of course, Croatia did lose to England 4-2, and then they beat Panama 1-0. Meanwhile, for Ghana, they beat Panama 1-0, but tied England 0-0. So it feels to me like a pressure game, and I think that's reflected in the odds at 2 over 40 here. Ghana can qualify with a draw. They haven't given up a goal yet, so how many would they really give up to this Croatia team here? If they didn't give up a goal to England, would they give up a goal to Croatia, a team that lost 4-2 to England? So Croatia knows they have to go and take it. That's for sure. And I guess if they had to get and earn that goal at minus $1.35, you might want to consider them here. But Ghana has just been really, really sharp here right now. It seems very tricky here with this game. So let's see what you have here in this one with Ghana taking on Croatia here. Croatia, certainly the team expected, but Ghana's had great results here so far. Let's see what you think. Is this the one where kind of Croatia turns it around here a little bit finally? Let's see what the chat says here in this one. Oops, sorry, Pam. Oh man, my computer is just dragging here. Okay. A tie here for Larry. He thinks it will be a tie. And Jermaine says going to be a lot of World Cup traffic. Both teams to score, though, says Timmy. Ghana can score and park the bus. Maybe it gets to 1-1. First half draw for Farley. And Mr. West, parking's $400, right? It's all the president's fault. Did the president? Did he call in when Iran scored that goal? Did he call the VAR in and take that goal off the board? Because man, Iran, they celebrated like it was over. All right, I guess that's it for the group here in this one. I'm going to take Ghana here, plus a half a goal. Give me Ghana in this one. Like what I'm seeing here from Ghana right now. I like what I've seen from a lot of the AFCON teams right now. Next up, Uzbekistan is taking on Congo in this one. And here you go. More African AFCON teams here. Uzbekistan is 0-2. Congo is 0-1-1. Of course, for Congo here, they tied Portugal, lost to Colombia. Uzbekistan lost to Colombia 3-1, lost to Portugal 5-0. It does feel like Uzbekistan has ended up here as could end up here as the worst team in the tournament here right now. We'll see. A couple other teams have some pretty bad records and goals against here, but Congo, another team that's done a pretty nice job here right now, and this is a clean. This is the easiest motivation you can ever call for. Congo must win to stay alive. Uzbekistan, they're out, and they've been getting crushed every game. So, look, Congo here, you're getting them at a half a goal at minus $1.35 or so, $1.50 maybe on some of them here. At some books, maybe a little bit higher, but you can find some pretty good prices here on Congo. Feels like Congo for me. I mean, it seems like a fair price against Uzbekistan that they got punished by Colombia and Portugal. So 2.5 under here. That's probably fair with this Uzbekistan side that right now, as we said, they got one goal against Colombia there, but weren't going to get anything against Portugal. That's for sure. Congo's been competitive, but they've had those low-scoring games here. Certainly, just 3 goals in their 2 games. So you got to figure Congo here can get a 2-0 victory or so. Can Uzbekistan get one against Congo? I don't know if they can with this one. So let's see what you think here with Congo, Uzbekistan. Congo's the side with everything to play for, and Uzbekistan does look overmatched here at the World Cup. So 2-0 is going to get there, I think, in this one. And I'll just take Congo here. 2-0, I'm sure, will be the final score. Maybe an exact scoreline feel on this one. Let's see what the chat thinks here. Going to a Congo. Mr. Wesker says Israel. Yeah, Israel didn't quite qualify. Didn't qualify, Mr. Weskers. Croatia needs to get more players, says Timmy. Jermaine's on the under. Larry says he's going with the Congo. Everybody. JP Farley's on both teams to score, and Timmy's got Congo to win. Yeah, Congo done a nice job here, Congo. Okay. Wissa, yeah, Wissa. Yeah, I think Wissa here. Elia maybe as well. All right. Pressure's on the Congo. Democratic Republic of Congo. All right, next up, we're going to go Portugal taking on Colombia here in this one. This one's in Miami. Congo game, by the way, in Atlanta. But this one's at Miami Stadium. That's the Hard Rock Stadium in this one between Portugal and Colombia. Man, Colombia, they've been that dark horse. We've been loving Colombia here, it feels like right now. 2-0 coming in and wins over Uzbekistan and Congo. Okay, they played the two teams. They got the weakest draw here a little bit. And, now they got to take on mighty Portugal. But, hey, Colombia's a pretty good soccer nation, okay? Portugal here, though, they did have the 5-0 win over Uzbekistan, but hey, they tied Congo. And, of course, Colombia beat Congo. So, Portugal, yeah, they're favored here by a half a goal, minus $1.15, total 2.5 over 20 in this one. Colombia only needs a draw to win the group. Portugal need the win to kind of jump over them, and they could win the group. So I think Colombia knows that they can get this anything close to a tie in here. That's going to be just fine, I would think, for them right now. The total is a little bit more delicate because it could be a draw suiting Colombia here at 2.5. We'll see. I mean, Portugal certainly off of a 5-goal performance, and they were finally clicking there. Colombia with the late goal trend as well. You got Portugal continuing to attack, so we'll see. But Portugal's fact that they need to win to get the group might put the emphasis on trying to make sure they get that late goal there as well. So they want to mess around here too much with it and lose the game or anything. But Colombia is in a better position with this draw possible, it feels like, here with these two. But I'm going to go over 2.5 goals at minus $1.20 here. Feels like this one, I don't want to say feels similar to that Spain-Uruguay match because I think Colombia is better than Uruguay after all. And, Portugal could turn this into kind of a second half game where the goals come in the second half. Let's see what you think in this one. All right, Colombia, Larry likes them to win the game. Both teams to score an over for Farley. Timmy says it's hard to take an under right now. I mean, you got to play over 3.5 at a 2-2 score with big plus money there. I say plus money only because he showed up. There's plus money, and he took Colombia plus a half a goal. But Timmy said it, Colombia does get into some low-scoring games too, but you're going up against Portugal here, so I'm going to go over 2.5 in this one. Okay, we got a couple more here now. And these are the late games here at 10 Eastern and 7 Pacific with Argentina. Well, they're taking on Jordan. So, all right, next game. Argentina is going to be clearly superior, but they have clinched the group already. Jordan, they are eliminated. So just becomes a question of how many goals does Argentina want to score? How heavy can they go? Do we want to lay a massive spread with a qualified favorite, likely already thinking about the knockout round here for Argentina? I mean, we already know pretty much what's going on for Argentina coming in to the next round. If Argentina, all they got to do is win, they're going to be playing Cape Verde. So, you could almost like just say, hey, that's over. They could just win it here, 1-0, 2-0. They're not going to lose to Jordan even by mistake. So it's just a matter of, are you comfortable laying 2 goals here with an Argentina team, probably without any, with zero motivation here right now. So they can win comfortably without putting up 3. And let's see what you think. Jordan, it probably isn't going to score in this one. All right, let's take a look and see what you got here. Do you think Argentina gets a 3rd goal in the game, keeps the pressure on a team like Jordan in a game that means absolutely nothing here? Seems like 2-0 automatic here, doesn't it, in a way? Okay, let's see. Let's go to the chat here. Let's see what they got. And Colombia, they gotta take some fisticuffs. Timmy says also Messi out. Yeah, they did say that he would start the game on the bench. I would imagine there's no need to reason to put him in there. Larry says Argentina will win easy. Farley likes it over here. Plus Money says still lay it with Argentina. They can do this one with their eyes closed and put their backups in and probably win. And Timmy says he'll take Jordan to score a goal here. All right. I'm going to go under here in this one with Argentina and Jordan at 3 goals. I'll take the under. Yeah, Argentina might get 3. Jordan, I don't think will score. So I'll just see if it goes to a 2-0 game here. Jordan obviously overmatched, but will the motivation here of Argentina prove for anything? I'll just go under 3 and hope it's 2-0 here. And finally, we're going to go to this one is in Kansas City Stadium, I think we're calling it. The Jordan Argentina game, by the way, is in Arlington Stadium. You know what stadium that is. But you got Algeria and Austria here. I don't know if I knew of a term, before the AI kind of came out, right? Low event. It always says low event. This is a low event game. This is right here. You want a low event game? This is it right here. Low event game with Austria. Only needing a draw to hold on to second place, or about $1.50 favorite. This is a closely rated match. Algeria needs to win. Usually that points toward a team that, is taking the plus money. They could kind of maybe get to at least a draw, but when you need to win, you're playing up against a team like Austria that only needs a draw. So it just becomes a stalemate pretty much. So maybe the under is the way to go. Unfortunately, it's heavily juiced here at 2 under minus $1.60. You almost have to take under 1.5 to get any sort of decent return on a under bet. Maybe you think it will go over with these two, but the games that we're seeing right now, right, that kind of are, I don't want to say talked about, or all the cappers or all the experts are saying, well, this isn't going to have very many goals in the game. And that usually ends up exactly to be the case. Maybe a case in point was the game between Saudi Arabia and Cape Verde in there. So this feels like this one's going to be 1-0 or 0-0. It feels like here in this one. So which team will win? I don't know. I think it's going to be a draw. I think it'll probably be a draw in this game. Let's see what you think, though, in this one. Austria has no need to open the game up early at all. And Algeria, when they've scored, they've kind of scored late. So maybe Algeria could get a late goal and, stun them here a little bit. They need the win. This is one of those classic final group matches where the table kind of stays cagey in there. And like I said, Austria fine with a draw, but I'm not convinced that Algeria can, find that late goal. But Let's see the way you guys have it here in this one. It does feel like 1-0 or 0-0 to me. Let's see what you think. I haven't been perfect on all these, that's for sure. But here's plus money. I think he likes a draw. And Austria and Algeria tie for Larry. Mr. Westro says Austria will destroy Algeria here. Austria money line for Farley. Timmy's on Algeria. And Timmy says, Algeria, that don't forget, that was, I want to call it lucky there in that game, but they did need some heroics there in the 2-1 victory over Jordan. And Jordan, pretty low rated for sure. Now, Algeria did lose 3-0 to Argentina, while Austria lost 2-0 to Argentina. So Austria won 3-1 against Jordan. Algeria won 2-1 against Jordan. So there is just that little bit right there. Both common opponents, Austria did edge out the performance of Algeria in both of those games, which kind of says, maybe Austria here in this one. So I'm going to go take them. I'm going to take Austria here in this one at minus $1.50 to beat Algeria. Do love what AFCON has done here in the tournament, but I'll go with Austria to win it here. Maybe a draw does seem maybe double chance, although that price is ridiculous. But I like picking a side here on the show. Hope that's okay. I'll try Austria here. All right. Yeah, Davey says that's racist. No, I'm partial to those AFCON teams. I think that if you look all the continents here, I think Africa has had the best, fastest rising development over since the last World Cup, right? Last 4 years, AFCON has definitely, and they're proving it. I think if you had to look at all the continents, which continent has improved the most? That's clearly out of all the, out of CONCACAF and CONMEBOL and UEFA, right? I think AFCON has been the best development. Oh. Okay, that's going to do it here for the World Cup. Enjoy. Let's go to baseball here. We got 15 games. And let's start it off. First up, go to the top of the board here, and we're going to go right back to where there was almost a fight there yesterday. Could you believe it with Contreras? He wanted to fight the guy because he wouldn't pitch to him. That's a great reason. Now, granted, there were 2 pitches up and in, but you're a catcher. You don't really throw at catchers. There's a kind of, you talk about unwritten rules. It's just always a deal with Contreras. It's always him. He's one of those guys, Why is it always this guy? Do you ever go to the, your local rec game, whether it be a softball game or a basketball or a soccer, and it's always that one guy? That's Contreras. He's that one guy. And yeah, it's all fine and dandy when you're out in public in front of 50,000 people, but he'd be running and hiding if he got into a fight in a McDonald's. All right, let's go to baseball here, though, right now. The Yankees and the Red Sox here with Garrett Cole going here up against don't look now, but here comes Jake Bennett for another start. 3.71 ERA, 1.13 the whip. Bennett, another good prospect here for the Red Sox. You got to be kind of impressed here by Bennett so far. Now, it's going to be a little bit of an ask here. You're going up against we're only going up against Garrett Cole, so we're not going to get carried away here too much in this one and try to tell you that Bennett's better than Garrett Cole right now. But Cole, 3.61 ERA, just a 2-2 record here so far, 1.18 whip. Cole's been fine since returning here to the to the rotation right now. So yes, Yankees here have lost the last 2 games here against Boston. The Red Sox have found a little motivation, a little edge here right now. Both bullpens looking pretty decent as well. Boston's been kind of an under machine at home. If you think about it, they're 14-23 to the under. They've gone under in 7 of 10. Yankees have gone under in 7 of 10, and they've gone under in 25 of 42 results on the road so far. So, and the rivalry between these two teams also has been a pretty big under here as well. So, I don't know. If you got a pitcher here like Bennett doing a pretty good job right now, you got Garrett Cole in here. You're dealing with an 8.5. And these games in Boston seem to be low scoring. Yankees have gone under in 5 of 6. 9 of the last 11 between these two teams have gone under when they played in Boston. 8 of the last 10 overall have gone under between these two. Boston's gone under in 8 of their last 11 games here. See what you got in this one. I'd like the under, I think. Here we go. It's going to be the Sox on the money line. I mean, gosh, you almost got to take them again. A lot of momentum here right now. Red Sox run line for Larry. Got to lay a little bit to do that, but could hang in here. Mr. Wesker, Yankees money line. And Farley here, Red Sox money line. The one thing I'll say about Contreras, is, you know what? It's there could be a little bit of, hey, let me try to fire these guys, right? And let's see here. Timmy says he'll gamble with a little under. Hey, Kingsley is still around. And Kingsley says, how about the White Sox with those 22 runs yesterday? That was amazing. That was the most runs the White Sox have scored since 1970. That's a long time. I was born in 1968. Okay, Timmy says take the Yankees here. Something's weird with them right now. All right, I got to go under with this one. This seems like a no-brainer under here right now with these two. And watch out for Bennett. Let's see what he does. All right, let's move on right now. We got to keep it going here. We got 15 games to discuss. So, okay, here we go. The Astros are taking on the Tigers. K-Way Tang goes here for Houston, a 4 ERA for Framber. 3.91 ERA, 4-5 record. Tang 4-6 overall this season. Houston did lose there to Detroit yesterday as Detroit finally snapped that 3-game losing streak, and Houston ended their 3-game win streak. So good win for Detroit. They needed it 8-0. They got out ahead early and ended up cruising to the win there, finally beating the Astros. Houston may be playing a little bit better overall, but Framber here with pretty good bullpen at home, reasonable price maybe at $1.35. Houston isn't, they're 4 games under 500. Detroit's 12 games under 500. We know Detroit was closing the gap there a little bit with a decent streak, but then ran into that losing streak. Still, they played pretty well in a couple of those ball games here, but is this price a little bit too high for a Detroit team that, definitely not winning more than half their games here? Both teams are kind of heavy under form here as well of late. Detroit's recent home games especially been kind of low event affairs, my favorite saying. So Houston's gone under in 5 of 6. Detroit's gone under in 7 of 8 at home. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Detroit's actually gone under in 5 straight. Detroit has defeated Houston in 6 of the last 9 meetings, including 4 of the last 5 here in Detroit. They've actually gotten the better of them a little bit. I would think that Framber, even though the numbers are similar, you might give a little bit of a lean to Framber a little bit there, huh? So let's see what you think in this one. I'll go ahead and do $1.35 on the show because I don't know if I'll get to a premium on this one. I'll go ahead and take the Tigers again. They got one yesterday. Let's see if Framber is better than Tang. The numbers would say they're kind of even right now, but uh, still Framber here maybe 1.33 the whip for Framber, 1.29 the whip for K-Way Tang. So it does feel like kind of even actually in a lot of different categories here right now. But the Tigers bounce back with those. They crushed Arrighetti there. Tang has been kind of wildly inconsistent for sure. Does struggle against left-handed bats. He did face the Tigers 2 weeks ago, gave up 5 earned runs, 2 walks, and 3 home runs. He did strike out 9 in that game, but look for McGonigal if you want your home run guy here. I think McGonigal feels like the guy in this one. You might want to take him as your home run guy, if you know what I mean. Framber, last time he went up against his old team, he pitched 6 innings, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts. He did give up 6 hits and 3 walks, but still no earned runs in the end. He was in trouble at several points in that game, but was able to get out of it at that time. So, all right, let's see here in the chat, see if you have anything with this one. Okay, you got Larry likes the over here. Mr. Wesker says Valdez is terrible. He is not liking what he's seeing from Framber. Says he shouldn't even be in the league. I don't know. I'd have to question your judgment of that. A 3.91 ERA and a 1.3 whip. That seems right about average. I don't know. I don't think I'd want Mr. Wesker as a general manager. All right. Tang is terrible. He likes the over too. I don't know, Timmy. You got Tang here, a young pitcher with a 4 ERA. Farley is on the over. And let's see, Jermaine here says over with these two. Hard to see Framber and go under these days. He hasn't looked good here in Detroit. And Mr. Wester says Framber goes. He's over by the goes over by the 3rd inning right now. Framber does. We're not getting the same Framber. He took the money there and stuck it in his back pocket, and now he can't get out of the 3rd inning. All right, is that it from the crew here? Let's see. Mr. Wesker says he doesn't want Framber in any important situations. Well, unfortunately, the Tigers haven't put themselves into any important situations right now. They've got a long way to go. And Houston, they're not really getting it done either here right now. They're not going to the well, they actually are. The Astros are 40-44. I think they're actually here because the American League is so top heavy. I think they're in the playoff hunt right now. I think it's Yankees, White Sox, Mariners leading the division, and then you look at the standings here right now in the major leagues, and let's see here. 40-40. Oh, okay, no, they end up tied here with maybe it is Texas right now in there. But look at the records of some of these other teams. Okay, Cleveland is a wild card. Tampa is a wild card. And then after that, you've got almost a crapshoot here. Texas, Oakland, Houston, Toronto. That is a tight race. It's going to be crazy at the end. It's going to be crazy. Okay, here we go. We move on. Rangers and Blue Jays here. These two continue their series north of the border here. The Rangers have won back-to-back games here right now. Rangers yesterday 5-4 over Toronto. Before that, it was 6-5 over Toronto. So Texas here, a couple of wins. You got Cal Quantrill here. He's pitched for every team here. He's going up here against the Jays, of course. Dylan Cease goes for the Blue Jays here. And, well, they got the better of the two pitchers here, I guess, with Cease. 2.74 ERA, 4-3 record, and a 1.19 whip for Quantrill here. Let me see. I thought Kumar Rocker, though, was also listed, but Quantrill's not really an opener here, so let me take a look here and see. I'm going to have to maybe dig a little bit deeper, I think, here in this one. Okay, yeah, it could be Kumar Rocker here right now. Let's see what's going on. Just see if I can get this here. I'm kind of leaning towards Kumar Rocker here in this one. Okay, I can't wait on this much longer here. I'm looking, but it feels like Rocker more so. Are you guys saying anything in the chat here? No, not really. So, all right. Well, I'll look at it from this perspective here with Dylan Cease on the mound. Big favorite here. As I said, good numbers here, but Toronto right now on a 4-game losing streak. You know, Eovaldi he diced up the Jays lineup, and despite a late rally in the 8th inning, the Rangers held on for another win. Rockerwood is obviously a step down, or Quantrill here. Let me just one more. I'm going to give one more look-see here to see if I can't figure out. Okay. Okay. So maybe it's going to be Quantrill to make a opening to open here, possibly. Quantrill threw 34 pitches on Tuesday, and I guess he could be an opener here for Rocker. Go through one more source here. Sorry about this, you guys. I didn't know we were in such a quandary here with the Rangers starting pitching today. Okay. Okay, I got it now. So Quantrill, I believe, is getting the start here, and then Rocker will go on Sunday. We're definitely going to operate under the premise that that it is Quantrill here. Our original information is going to be correct. I believe Rocker will be the starter here on Sunday. So that's what I'm going with for sure right now with this matchup. Now, Cease obviously is going to be the better whoever is in there here right now. But Toronto with this poor form here, 4 straight losses right now. Texas on the road, they've been doing pretty well. The head-to-head series in Toronto between these two, we talked about it yesterday. Now, look, we just had another game here between these two teams yesterday. The final score was 5-4, and it did sneak over the total of 8.5. And now, between these two teams, that makes 13 straight overs between these two teams here right now. Including 10 straight, I believe, here in Toronto. So these guys are just in a massive over crunch here, even with Dylan Cease. I mean, you got to think that this is still a trend that could continue in this game. Now, I know because Cease, maybe you can tone it down, but Toronto's a team that goes over as a home favorite usually, consistently. And Texas, we know that yeah, they do go under a lot at home, but they also are a little bit to the under on the road as well. Overall, they're actually 22-18 to the over on the road, but they do have some pushes in there. So is that enough for you on the head-to-head? Not only have the two teams gone over in 13 straight against one another, but Toronto's also gone over in 5 of their last 7, and Texas has gone over in 10 of its last 14 games. So I guess if you think that Cease is going to come in and still do a pretty credible job, then maybe they could keep it under 8 here. But I think that's just too many signs. I think I got to go over here, and I'm gonna play that angle actually in this one. Okay, let's see here. Oh man, you guys had a lot of comments there trying to help me probably. Rangers here for Larry. And user is here. And he's wondering about the KBO action here. I can't really I don't think I can say it here on the air, user. If I there is a site. Maybe we'll try to get that information to you. Farley here, Jays verse 5. Mr. Wester says it does see a little bit high there, $1.80. Timmy says Quantrill. And yeah, $1.80 does seem kind of high. I'll take the over here, especially with a little bit of confusion, but I'm pretty confident now. I believe that it is going to be Quantrill. I think I'm always going to go check like a second and third source. You'll see one thing that says one thing. If you can get a second and a third, site to kind of say it, I think that's where I kind of feel like, Jermaine's going to go over big time with the blue, or minus 2.5 here with the Blue Jays. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. What does Timmy say? Timmy, one thing. Let me see if I can. Now, look, there are a bunch of places on here. Here's one that I really like. I like this site for reports here. This is Roster Resource. It's part of Fangraphs. Let me show this one here. And I see right here, other than this lady talking to me in the ad here right now. But this is one I'll go to when, like I said, it's probably the third or fourth option. I saw what you did, a couple of different ones here. But when I finally went to it, I went here. And then you see this. Let me close this ad a little bit. You see this area here. This is where they list the starting rotation right here. You see, and right here you'll see all these starters here, and then over here under this chart over on the right side here, you'll see Saturday Quantrill, Rocker Sunday, and then you'll see how it's in order as well. So yes, this isn't always right either, but I really like this site and this way it's updated here. This is Roster Resource. And I kind of like it there. It has other information here too as well, but really like this chart right here of the projected starters right here. And you can see some different other categories that they have in there to help you. Okay. Okay, and let's see here. We're going next up. We got to go to the. I think Larry's getting a ghost going to the next game there with the Reds and the Pirates. Good job, Larry. Yep, I'll go to it. Let's go talk Reds and Pirates here with the Reds favored on the road, $1.20, 8 under 15. You got Jared Jones going for the Pirates and Chase Burns. Oh man, Chase Burns here for the Reds. Burns, a 1.99 ERA. He's 9-1 right now. Jared Jones, 5.75 ERA, 1-1 record. The one thing you like about a pitcher like Burns, man, I don't want to compare him to like a Paul Skeens. I think Skeens is a little. I don't know if he's better. Burns is awesome, right? Burns' 9-1 record. Sometimes we could say that win-loss record is almost a little bit lucky in a way. Sometimes you can pitch well, not get but sometimes, you know what? You pitch to the moment. You pitch within the game, right? There's a reason why some guys win a lot more games maybe than others. You take pitches off. Maybe you're not always throwing your best pitch. And look, the Reds are not great. They've done a nice job here. 4 games under 500. just happen to be playing the Pirates here, we can compare it, right? Pittsburgh's a 500 team here right now, and we know that Paul Skeens has just went 8 straight games, and Pittsburgh's lost them all. And there's not much of a difference between these two teams. If anything, Pittsburgh is slightly better. So it's very, very interesting that one guy like this, Chase Burns, now, okay, maybe he's even having a better season than Paul Skeens or whatever, but I don't know. They're just some guys just you've heard it before. They know how to win, right? They know how to win. And maybe that's Chase Burns. And here you're getting him at $1.20 in this series against the Pirates. The Reds just beat Paul Skeens yesterday. And here they are favored. The Reds are 14-10 as a favorite this year. They're playing pretty well here right now. Pirates were playing well too. I don't say the Reds were on a 3-game losing streak before that game yesterday, but I mean, they're playing well. 4 games under 500. I don't think this Reds team has been awful comparatively to their expectations overall. Still have to look at it honestly here. The Reds have one of the worst offenses in the league still, no matter how you look at it. They're next to last in batting average, next to last in hits, bottom 5 in RBIs. Meanwhile, Pittsburgh, they're top 3, top 2, top 1 in all the key categories in offense. 3rd in batting average, 3rd in RBI, 3rd in runs, 1st in hits. This offense, the Pittsburgh Pirates. But going up against Chase Burns. And Jones did return from injury so far. I don't think the numbers, 5.75, not happy with these numbers so far. And remember, Pittsburgh, there was a little bit of a rift. Remember, why are we putting Jones back in the rotation? And you got some of these other guys. Where's Carmen Mlodzinski? Where's Carmen Sandiego? Where's Carmen Mlodzinski? So working out of the bullpen. But is Jones really better? Now, maybe Jones, he does still, the old quarterback adage, you don't lose your starting spot. And if Jones comes back healthy and he gets anything to what he was doing before he got hurt, maybe Jones still will be that guy. But right now, the numbers aren't too good, and feels like you're getting Chase Burns. He doesn't lose. I'm taking Chase Burns in this one. Come on, we're still rolling. We get Chase Burns at $1.20 or less. I think we got to take Chase Burns here, don't we? See what the chat said about it. Over for Larry here. Jermaine under first 5. And Jimmy says maybe these guys are pretty good. Jones should be good, but, Jones it was a long injury, right? Jones was out longer than some of these short-term injuries. Here's Farley on the Reds. Here's Mr. Westers on the Reds. Jermaine's on the under. Jimmy says, watch out. This is where the Pirates kind of show up after Skeens loses. They bounce back the next day. Whatever happened to Carmen Electra? Remember when she sang the national anthem, Mr. Westers? Didn't she, right? Didn't she try to do that? Okay, let's move on here. We're going to – oh, boy. Here we go. We got the Phillies. We're taking on the Mets here. And Phillies are on a 4-game winning streak, and the Mets. Kodai Senga, we said, is Kodai Senga pitching like every other game right now? The other day we were saying, Kodai Senga probably can't get any worse than this 9 ERA. Well, he's got a 10 ERA now. It keeps getting worse here for Kodai Senga. He's 0-6 for Rangel here. Mostly an opener here in this one for the Phillies with Alan Rangel. We did see him before in there. So other than that, the way the Phillies will go about it in this one, and it is going up against is it Senga or is it Christian Scott? Let me see what's going on here. Man, what's going on with these Saturday pitchers? Okay, I think this one is Christian Scott. Man, I'm going to have to look again here. I thought it might be a little soon for Kodai Senga here. Oh, they're going to have to activate Christian Scott. That's what it is. Okay, let's see here. Let me get the best lowdown on it right now. Christian Scott is eligible to come off of the injured list here, so I do think he is the one that gets the start here. And if he is ready to return, I mean, he is going to be ready to go. He had a hip injury, I thought they said, but mostly he was just maybe overworked here overall right now. So I think it's Christian Scott overall and not Senga, which that's probably a good thing. But would like to see Christian Scott get back in here right now. He should be activated from the 15-day injured list. He had a 3.1 ERA, 1.35 WHIP, 26% K rate there, and was kind of managing those numbers. So. Coming off an injury against the Phillies team that has been so hot, man. The Phillies, okay, so they had an underwhelming game there on Friday night, but they hit the 3 double play. I think Baum hitting the 3 double plays there for Rangel here, just his 3rd career MLB start, and we'll see where it goes from there. This feels like a total bullpen game all the way. Rangel has been solid, 2.25 ERA, 1.0 WHIP, 27% K rate, and has not issued a walk yet. But he'll be out of there pretty quick. Mets have lost 7 of their last 8 games against right-handed pitching, but still keep putting up runs with like nobody's business right now. The Mets got some rest there yesterday for their pitching. Let's see what you guys have in this one. Mets. Phillies. I mean, it's obvious to me. You can't take the Mets as a favorite over anybody. What is going on here? Is it backwards? Is a thing broken right now? What is going on? Mr. Weskers is taking them. He doesn't care that this is the worst. Hey, I'm an Andy Green guy. I think Andy Green can, get the Mets turned around here a little bit. Phillies run line for Larry, reverse run line. Why not? Mr. Weskers are the ultimate contrarian here. Says today's the day. Farley's got the over. Want to say hello to Jack Smilowitz in the chat. Hello to Jack. Wow. And he said Christian Scott in there. He's got Christian Scott. Thank you, Jack. Nice to see you in there. Great to have you. And let's see here. Schwarb's for an RBI for Timmy with Scott coming off the DL. And let's see here. Jimmy says might be some showers there in Pittsburgh. Jermaine's laying the run line with the Phillies. Mr. Weskers faded the Yankees so good he faded them twice. All right. I'm sorry. I'm taking the Phillies, man. Come on. I'm taking the Phillies in that one. Please. Okay, next up, the Royals taking on the White Sox here with the Phillies. With the Royals. Here, a little bit of an underdog. You got Michael Wacha, though, going, and I don't know, he spoiled it for me last time, I think. Davis Martin here, kind of giving some back here. Still trying to get that 10th victory as Davis Martin. 3.18 ERA, 1.2 WHIP coming in for Wacha here. 3.47 ERA, 5-5 record, and a 1.16 WHIP. Wacha does the job in there. Gives you that solid start every time here. The White Sox are coming off that historic performance. 22 runs last night. Got 10 runs in 1 inning, so pretty awesome. We know that. 27-13 at home. The Royals are 15-27 on the road, but Wacha does kind of equalize things a little bit here. And Davis Martin, it definitely was a little bit of a rougher start last time. I don't want to say Davis Martin might be hitting the wall here a little bit, but after 22 runs, who knows? And they didn't really, they didn't put a position player in there or even a weak pitcher. They just pummeled them. They just did what they did. Waka had been on a rough stretch, but bounced back last Friday. 7 innings, 5 Ks, and 1 earned run against the Rays to beat me there. He's got decent numbers. White Sox offense right now is going crazy. Waka's been giving up hits for sure, but he's been limiting home runs, so I don't think we're going to be 22 runs or anything. Martin's been awesome. We know that 3.18 ERA, 1.2 WHIP, but had 2 blowups now against the Yankees and the Twins. Each time he did that, though, he came back strong in the next game. The Royals offense had been on a pretty good streak, but they've kind of slowed down here, especially against right-handed pitching. They've given up here some of those numbers back. So, all right, let's see what you guys have in this one. The White Sox still a pretty stiff favorite here at $1.45. But again, you got a White Sox 27-13 at home, about 70%, and you got a Kansas City team 15-27 on the road. Okay, let's see here. Jack said this is a bad game here. I don't know, Jack. We're pretty big fans of the White Sox around here, I think. And but you're right. I mean, probably not the best game. I don't know if this is a great schedule, though, is it? He said. And here's Larry on the Royal Sox over. Jermaine's on the White Sox run line. I mean, Mr. Westers could give up 21 runs and say he did better. Farley's going to go with the Royals here. If anything, I'd say that the price is probably fair on the Royals. Again, you have to think they're so bad on the road, and White Sox are great at home, but maybe Waka is the guy to kind of keep it in gear. Jack likes the over here in this one. And let's see here. Timmy says, take the old under chance here in this one. And there's DeAndre in the chat. Great to see DeAndre in there. He's up late here. And maybe he's waiting for that UFC card here in a few hours. 4 hours. Oh, he's going to work. He's going to work. You know, that's it. He gets up, goes to work, starts handicapping those games. All right. I think that might be it, and I got to make the call here in this one. I don't know if I had anything that I liked from you guys in the chat with this game with the Royals and the White Sox here. Now, Chicago, not only that, they have owned this matchup. I will say that. Chicago's won 5 straight at home against the Royals, and White Sox still 12-2 in their last 14 home games. 6 of the last 6 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over, and 5 straight between the two teams have gone over here in Chicago. So I am going to go over actually with these two. Give me the over with, even with Waka and Martin here, I'm going to go over tonight. There's Vargas for a home run, says Jermaine. We move on. Next up, the Diamondbacks here are on the road, taking on the Rays in this one. All right. Hey, Diamondbacks here, going to be a road underdog, of course. They've got Cabrera going here for, this is, by the way, Jose Cabrera. Seen him out there one time so far, so no ERA, no record, 0.6 whip. Good numbers there in his first appearance. He's going up here against Drew Rasmussen, however. You know, Rasmussen, pretty solid numbers here, 2.61 ERA, 6-4 record coming in here for Rasmussen. Done a nice job here, 6-4 record overall coming into this one. See what you guys think here in this one. Arizona's gone under in 4 of their last 5. Also, Arizona's gone under in 8 of their last 9 on the road. Tampa's gone under in 14 of their last 20. Arizona also just 1-8 in their last 9 games against Tampa Bay overall. Now it is a pretty big number there, obviously. Tampa's 8-3 in their last 11 at home, and they've won 6 of the last 7 games against Arizona here at home. It is an interleague series, so that's over about 4 seasons right here, right now. So Tampa's dominated the head-to-head, obviously, and Tampa's been going under here last few weeks for sure. Tampa's on a 3-game winning streak again, trying to find their form back here. Just beat Kansas City in 2 games, splitting that series, and then beat Arizona pretty good there, 6-1. Go to the chat here, see what you have. I'm probably just going to go with the under in this one. Let's see, though, what the chat says. We've got Larry on the Rays. And let's see here. Mr. Wesker's on the Rays. Jermaine says Caminero to hit a home run. Farley's on the Diamondbacks. Okay. I'll take the under in this one with Arizona and Tampa Bay. Give me the under here. And, just had a final here in footy. Collingwood beat Richmond by 34. They did not cover the 39 points. Okay, let's see here. Jermaine's on the under, and Jimmy says, "Who are these guys?" Well, I gotta be up front here. This Cole Seltzer. This is my guy right here. Actually, I've actually followed his career quite a bit because he went to Ramona High School in San Diego, so I've been familiar with him for a number of years. I mean, he is no spring chicken. He's not a young pitcher coming in here. I mean, I've been following this guy for almost 20 years. It feels like right now. He came out of high school. He graduated in 2008, so that's how long I've been following this kid. But actually went to Dartmouth. He was undrafted and then attended Dartmouth, and then a real smart kid. I mean, this guy is amazing. He's an Ivy Leaguer and real smart kid. I say kid. I mean, the guy's like 35 years old by now. So that's my guy, Cole Sulcer. And I believe he's probably just an opener here, actually, in this game. That's kind of his role for sure. No doubt about it. Cabrera is just making his second start, as I said. Rays a pretty tough matchup for him. Salsa will open and to take care of business here against that top of the lineup with Marte and Corby Carroll in there. And then probably no Kimbrel tonight after yesterday, but this is going to be a bullpen game all the way for Tampa. They don't have a bulk guy, I don't think, coming in. They're just going to we going with guys out there. Mr. Wesker says the dumb athletes are better. I think the smart athletes are better. What do you think? Do you think Kobe, he was like really Kobe was really highly intelligent, right? I mean, would he speak 4 languages? I just thinking that's just one guy. That's one guy. Okay, that's it for that one. And I'll take the under. I took the under. Kobe is different. Kobe was different. Okay, and let's see here. We move on. Next one up here. We're doing a good job here. And no nap for me tonight because we're going right to the no middle of the night nap because we got to go right to the UFC here in the morning. Okay, next up here we've got the Nationals and the Orioles here with our action from the DMV. Got Foster the People Griffin going up here against Brandon Young. Good matchup here between these two. Griffin, 3.15 ERA, 8-2 record coming in. For Brandon Young, 3.07 ERA and a 6-2 record coming in. These guys have been pretty excellent, wouldn't you say? Another impressive effort from Trevor Rogers yesterday. He got it done. Now, Young's been good. 307 ERA, 235 batting average against. Doesn't strike out a lot of guys, but Nationals are not as good against, I won't say not as good against right-handed pitching. Remember, they're one of the top lineups certainly in the league here. Their batting average has been going down, but they're still powering their way through a lot of these games. Griffin's been great this season, 3.15 ERA, 106 whip, and also very elite against left-handed batters. And he's been even stronger over the last few starts. This just certainly looks like a bit of a pitcher's duel here, shaping up as a pitcher's duel, I think. I don't know if the Nats offense jumps off the page here against Brandon Young right now, the way he's been going. But we'll see what you guys think here in this one. A good matchup here. O's at home, $1.20 favorite. Let's see if you guys have anything here in this one. I'm going to the chat right now. Here we go. All right. Baltimore run line here for Larry. Nats for Mr. Weskers. And Farley's on the Nats here. And what's going on with Larry? He's having a Dairy Queen Blizzard with butter popcorn. I don't know. Is that a thing? Okay, Timmy says, maybe got to go under again here with these two. Now, Washington is a big time over, yes, but they're 49-31 to the over, but 21-19 to the over on the road. Definitely a little more under control here. I think we do get the pitcher's duel that we're expecting. I'm going under in the first 5 here with the Nationals and the Orioles. Give me the under here, first 5. Nats and O's here on Saturday. That's going to be my call in this one. And that total right now in this game is going to be 4.5 runs. Okay, next up here. Well, what's going to happen when David Peterson goes into action here and takes on the Brewers? And Kyle Harrison Peterson now with the Cubs, the former Mets pitcher here, comes in with he'll probably be great. Probably turn his season around here right now. Let me make sure it is Peterson here. There was some talk that I saw Imanaga here a little bit, but let me just make sure on this one. I thought it was going to be Peterson for sure. He'll make his Cubs debut, 6.09 ERA, 1.63 whip. So he was getting hard hit consistently. He's been even worse on the road. This Brewers lineup at home probably isn't the best matchup for him. The Brewers are hot, but so is the Cubs, man. This Cubs offense has been going off as well. Now, the Brewers did get the win there on Friday night, just 6-2. The Brewers have been dominating the Cubs here of late. Harrison for the Brewers has been terrific. 8-1 with a 2.5 ERA, 106 whip. Great strikeout to walk ratio as well, 87 Ks in 72 innings with just 18 walks. And he's been really good against the Cubs, 11 strikeouts last game against Chicago with a 41% whiff rate here. Now, it's a pretty big number here. The Cubs have been playing great, no doubt about it, but still got Harrison with a great K rate. Let's see what you guys think in the chat in this one, because this one feels like two good starters here. I mean, not Peterson, but Harrison here. Two hot offenses here is what I mean to say. But will Harrison be able to corral the Cubs here in their great surge? The Cubs have gone 4-1 in their last 5, but they've lost 5 straight at Milwaukee. The Brewers have won 5 straight for their last 5 at home. Cubs have gone over in 7 of 8. Let's see what you think here. Okay, here we go. Brewers money line, says Larry. Got to do it against the Cubbies there. Cubs plus 2.5, says, oh no, Jermaine had the Cubs and they still couldn't cover. Farley says Brewers first 5 here. Maybe that's the ticket here, because obviously they have a starting pitching advantage here, right? Harrison undefeated, pretty much. He's been great. We've been on him. We've been on him a lot this season. We've been rolling with Harrison. We were on him when people weren't on him, I think. Jermaine here, Brewers. And compared to yesterday, $1.60 seems like a discount, Jermaine said. And Timmy said he's all over these unders. Yeah, I don't know if I can. Peterson's looking bad. The Cubs offense, they're definitely hot. No doubt. Harrison might be able to come in and stifle him, but he's not going to probably pitch a complete game. And maybe when they come in there, they'll be able to take it eventually. But the Cubs maybe can get to the bullpen or something here, it feels like. So I don't know. Timmy be looking to get an over here. I kind of was thinking over here because the Cubs might be able to get something going here. This offense has still been pretty good here of late. I know Milwaukee is they're no doubt tearing it up. I like that Brewers first half. Why wouldn't you do that right now with Harrison? Plus, you're going to get a much better price here than this $1.60 or so. Make it a 5-inning game here with the Brewers in this one and take them at I haven't seen the first half line, but I'll take them in the first half. I'm sure it'll be -0.5 there at, I don't know, even money or so. I'll take the Brewers -0.5 in the first 5. No line yet, but that's what I'll be taking here when the line comes out. Okay, next up, Mariners and Guardians here. And look at this one. You got Logan Gilbert. You got Slade Ciccone in this one. I don't mind Slade Ciccone right now. It feels like he's pitched a little bit better here of late. 4.48 ERA, 3-6 record. Logan Gilbert, 3.29 ERA, 101 WHIP. We know he's been solid. Ciccone's got a 1.4 WHIP, but I just think he's had a few better starts here overall of late. Let's see what you guys think of this one. You got the old piggyback scenario here a little bit with Gilbert and Hancock here a little in this one. Gilbert's certainly solid here coming in right now. And right now for Ciccone, continues to put out good starts. He's averaging just 1.5 earned runs through his last 4 outings. Guardians here are missing guys, though, currently. No Jose Ramirez, no DeLauder in here right now. Martinez is out. You do have Bazzana, you got Manzardo, but they are hurting a little bit here right now with this offense. Seattle was able to get the win there yesterday, 3-1, as the Guardians couldn't quite get it together, and I think we're going to be looking at a low score possibly here again today. Mariners have struggled to produce really offensively, but Arozarena is back a little bit, so that should help. It's a little bit of a number to lay on the road right now, so if I was going to do it, I'd probably just do it here on the show. So let me do it here, and I'm going to take the Mariners in this one, yes, minus $1.40 or so, but I think Gilbert over Ciccone is what I'm going to focus in on, even though I'm going to be finding some spots for Ciccone here along the way. Mr. Wesker's on the Mariners. Larry likes the under. Farley likes the under. And Jermaine says, this is going to be, we're going to see this little thing, this, right? We're going to see that, right? Yeah, a good point there. What he's talking about is you got like Gilbert set to start, and then Hancock comes in relief, and that's what we know. It feels like that's what they're going to do quite a bit. It seems like something, Jermaine, right? And then you get something like that. Hey, Hugh is here. Hi, Hugh. He might be behind us a little bit, but hopefully he'll hear me. Okay, the Rockies are taking on the Twins now, and the Twins did get to them yesterday, handle them 9-8. It was a wild game for sure. The Twins led 7-0 after 5 innings, and then all the way back came the Rockies to take a lead 8-7 in the ninth inning, but the Twins tied it and then they won it in the 10th. When you see something like that, you got to think it's going to happen again, don't you? Especially with Lorenzen in here with his 7 ERA up against Paredes and a 4 ERA. This is Mike Paredes, by the way. So we know Lorenzen, right? He's a gas can out there for sure. He's been awful all season. He's always open. He's got that 7.11 ERA, 1.69 whip, gives up hard contact. The Twins have been a top 10 offense lately, been strong against right-handed hitters, 7+ hits in 7 of their last 10 starts against right-handed pitching. And this lineup should be able to take advantage. Paredes here for Minnesota has been solid despite limited games here right now. 1.2 whip, 11K, not a lot of action in there, but isn't really a dominating strikeout pitcher or anything. So saw the Rockies obviously come through with a lot of runs. I got to go with the over here after what we saw yesterday. Do you really think that Lorenzen's going to keep anybody down here early? Paredes, not a lot of experience here. Rockies, yeah, sure, they play those home games, so their numbers, but really they're only slightly worse away from Coors. So I'm going to go over here in this one. Okay, Lorenzen on the road, take the Twins over. Farley says Twins team total over, and it's all over. Yeah, I guess I'm going with the over in this one. Hey, next up we got the Marlins taking on the Cardinals here with Ryan Gusto taking on Andre Palante. For Gusto here, 6.0 ERA, 0-2 record right now. Gusto, just a couple of appearances so far for the Marlins. We know that he's been around a little bit, still a young pitcher, but for the Cardinals here, they've just lost 3 straight here right now, including games here to the Marlins, 4-0 yesterday. The Marlins have kind of had the Cardinals number, and you got Palante with an ERA of 3.6 coming in, but a 9-4 record. That's interesting. A 1.19 whip, decent numbers for Palante. No matter how you look at it, he continues to improve. It seems like in his career here, Gusto's been inconsistent at best, but he is coming off the best start of the season for him against the Giants, who don't have a terrible offense. Cardinals have been solid offensively at home, particularly against right-handers. Gusto's got decent stuff, but he also could give it up in a moment's notice. That's for sure. Palante, as I said, good numbers. Manages the contact and a low walk rate. He's even better at home, it seems like. So he might be okay with this price a little bit. Now, I think this is a game where the Sharps are going to be on. I think they're clearly going to be on Miami here. I think this is a spot where the Sharps usually will take a team like Miami. But, the Cardinals here with 3 straight losses, Miami with 3 straight wins, but it's an advantage here in the pitching for the Cardinals in this one. But man, this Marlins offense continues to produce, and they got some guys here. They're doing a good job, and they got great team speed as well. Okay, let's see what you got. It just feels like the Marlins are just playing a little bit better, and the Cardinals are in a little bit of a lull. But Palante is the better option here. St. Louis for Timmy. Farley with the Marlins, and Larry, Marlins on the run line here, maybe Marlins run line, although I can't do it on the show here. The price is going to be a little too high for me to take here on the show at minus $1.75. But Marlins are really clicking here right now. Oh man, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna be on the Marlins in this one. Give me the Marlins here on the road. I'll do it with gusto. Give me the gusto over Palante. I know I just talked up Palante, but Cardinals have lost 3 in a row. Let's see what happens here. I'm gonna take the Marlins in this one. Hey, we're doing pretty well here. We're running a little long tonight, but Dodgers here on the road taking on the Padres. Yamamoto goes for the Dodgers. Strandy Vasquez for the Padres. Padres crushed the Dodgers for their 4th straight win last night. Vasquez 4.17 ERA, 6-5 record. Yamamoto 2.65 ERA, 7-5 record coming in, 0.87 WHIP. Another one where the Dodgers probably have the advantage here in the starting pitching, but they did last night as well, I think. And they still were able to go, and you got $1.95 here. Please, you're going with Vasquez every time. The Padres are 28-18 as a run line dog. The Dodgers have lost on the run line 9 of their last 10 games. It's not like they're an underdog in those games. They have lost 9 of their last 10 run lines here right now. The Dodgers aren't getting anything done as far as if they win, they're winning it by 1. They beat the Twins the other night 12-3, but their other wins over the Twins were 4-3 and 2-1. How do you not just take the Padres here, at least on the run line? I already think they're going to have a great series. I think the urgency for the Padres is there this weekend. I think the Dodgers have been so hot. They don't even, they always say, the Dodgers' rival is the Giants, not the Padres. So a lot of times they overlook the Padres a little bit, even though my man Dave Roberts there used to be my man anyway, but not anymore. So Padres here, of course, at plus 105, minus $1.05. You got to take them every time. Probably should take them on the money line on this price here. Vasquez he's fine. He's not Yamamoto. I know that. That's for sure. But Padres have just been playing pretty well here all of a sudden, getting it back going. They're starting to pick up the pace a little bit, back to 6 games over 500. They're back in the playoff picture here as well. So this should be an okay game here for sure. The Padres are, getting timely hitting. That's just a fact right now. I've watched their games more than any other, closer than any other team. So when I'm talking Padres, you can trust me a little bit. We were down on them when they had that slump. So Yamamoto, just 7 runs allowed over his last 6 starts combined. I can't fade it too much here. Did have a rough game for him anyway. 3 earned runs against the Orioles last time. Is facing the Padres for the second time this season. Vasquez, meanwhile, decent control, doesn't strike a lot of guys out. I know the Dodgers can hit on the road, that's for sure, but I got to take this run line. All right, Timmy's got some good strikeout parlay guys in there. Larry says Dodgers money line to bounce back. Farley's on the under. And Padres run line here for Timmy, right? Come on, this is a huge rivalry game. The Padres are really fired up, and they're $2 dogs here. Yamamoto's been pretty good. Give him credit. All right, the Braves here are on the road taking on the Giants. Bryce Elder goes. We didn't have the Giants pitcher in here. It's Logan Webb. We know that. So good pitching matchup on paper. Yeah, Webb's had some issues a little bit for sure, but still going to be favored here. Still a 3.35 ERA, 4-5 record, and a 1.12 WHIP. Not going to go against Webb necessarily, but Elder 3.71 ERA, 1.21 WHIP. Braves got the win yesterday over the Giants, and maybe just maybe they have a little bit of a little bit maybe in their heads a little bit here when it comes to the head-to-head series between the Giants and the Braves. Remember, we talked about the Giants, how they've really done well against the Braves overall, particularly in Atlanta. Strangely enough, they've had really tremendous success uh, against them down there. But let's see what you think here in this one with the Giants here at home. It's not as predominant, I'll tell you that. The Giants' success at home over the Braves, they're much better on the road actually when taking them on. So let's see here what you think in this one with the Giants and the Braves at Elder here. I'll go to the chat to see what you guys have here. Braves ended their 4-game losing streak with that win. Elder's definitely given some back, and I was kind of riding him a little bit, but he has allowed 24 earned runs in his last 5 starts right now. And, Giants pretty good against right-handed pitchers for sure. It does feel like Logan Webb is getting back to his usual form right now. It's been pretty excellent since coming back from injury. Last 3 games, 0.75 whip and a 1.13 ERA. So really looked as good as he has all season here. And saw Braves, the lineup struggling here without Acuna in it right now. You know what's going to happen here. This game's going under, says Larry. You got to go with the under. And there's you. Hi, you. I'll go under here in this one with Elder and Webb. Farley's on the Giants. One more in the major leagues, and we're going to do some WNBA, and then that's it here on Night Moves. A's and Angels here with Jack Perkins. Going in this one for the A's, Perkins here, 6.26 ERA. He's up against Reed Detmers. Detmers, 3.92 ERA, 3-5 record, but the A's did it again last night. Beat the Angels 9-3 to get the first game of this series. Of course, the teams just met last week, remember, and split 4 games up there in West Sacramento. But the A's got this one with a big number here, 9-3. We're seeing some big numbers here from some of these teams here of late. In fact, the winning team in this series here has been scoring quite a bit of runs when these two teams have met. And obviously not great pitching here, although Detmers can be quite serviceable. Both offenses were able to produce hits, but Urania just got blown up there. I tried to go with the Angels there last night, but Urania got beat up. And Perkins has been pretty rough here with these numbers here. He's definitely a good he supposedly has very good potential. He's got a 27% K rate on the season, has good off speed, has good movement on his curve. Angels here been hitting pretty well here of late against right-handers. These teams, though, Angels 18-23 to the under at home. A's 16-24 to the under at home, though. Detmers, good strikeout stuff here. A's scored 5 runs on 6 hits versus Detmers last time they saw him. They also earned 4 walks in the game. That was very uncharacteristic from Detmers. So he should be better here. It feels like the Angel, but they're just. Let's see what you got. Man, these Angels. Okay, here's A's money line for Larry, and Farley is on the A's here. Yeah, they did beat them up pretty good there last night. The A's, the A's have the better offense than the Angels, that's for sure, but Detmers can be a little bit, feels like Detmers should be the better overall option here in this one. It's just at Oakland against left-handed starters. They're 11-13, nothing too special. But I think if you look at maybe the trends are kind of the way to go when it comes to these two teams right now. you got I don't know, pretty much the this one I'm torn on. This one I'm torn on. Let's see. Let me go. Anything else in the chat? No, I'm on my own out here. Let me go to the old algorithm here. I didn't come in with a pick in this one, so all right, I'll take the under here with the A's and the Angels. My algorithm will always tell me to go under, probably. All right, Timmy says Detmer is a better option there with the Angels. Probably so, but it's just hard. They're not really playing great against these guys, it feels like right now. Okay, that's it for the baseball. Let's go to the W here tonight. We got 3 games in the WNBA after last night's 3-game pack. And let's see what you have here with these 3. I just want to say before we get into the WNBA tonight that please check out the 2-3 zone show here underneath the videos tab. Got the 4 guys tonight. It used to be the 2-3 zone, but now you got to have a box and 1, I think, or something with the show, because you got 4 guys tonight, and they gave the previews of the 3 games. So make sure you're checking them out. I'm going to give some picks here too, but the guys have been hot, no doubt about it. There last night, last night they were. Let me see here. I know they were on some winners here, and I just want to shout them out for their good performance here. Actually, last night with the 2-3 zone. Okay, they had. Let me tell you here. They had Chicago in that 30-point win yesterday. They also had the over in that game. I'm just generalizing here as a consensus of what they have. There may have been some guys that were split if they were, but overall they were definitely on Chicago and the over, and they were definitely on the under in the Atlanta and Golden State game there yesterday. Okay, here we go. Mercury and Tempo here in this one. And for the Toronto Tempo, what a performance by Marina Mabrey last time out. An NBA record tying 53 points in that last game. Toronto comes in with a 9-9 record. Phoenix just 6-13 right now, and they're not exactly a great cover. Toronto's 11-7 ATS coming in. Phoenix just 7-12 against the spread. But, that number's getting a little bit high there for sure, I think, for these two. I'd probably just prefer the under here in this game. You got a Phoenix team that's 3-8 to the under on the road. Meanwhile, Toronto, they've gone over in the 13 of 18 games. They've also gone over in 8 of their last 10. However, they're just 2-4 to the under as a favorite, and 4-4 to the under. Four overs and 4 unders at home, basically meaning 9-1 to the over on the road. They go over on the road, and it's a little more under control, I think, when Toronto is at home. So, interesting matchup here. Phoenix felt like they were kind of getting it together. I still was trying to sell on them a little bit or take them a little bit in a few games here, but I think if you look at it here, I'm gonna go with the under. I think I'm solid here on the under in this one. Like I said, Toronto's a strong over team. They've gone over in 7 straight. We've made a joke about it every year, right? Every game. Oh, you can't have a Toronto Tempo. The tempo every time. But Phoenix road games have gone under here pretty strong of late. 7 of their last 9, as a matter of fact. So I'll go under. All right, just tempo on the spread for Larry. Looks like we're not going to have too much here from the WNBA, so I'll work quickly. Sparks and Bieber in this one, and no Kelsey Plum here, and no Caitlin Clark as well. Clark's injury is listed as still that back injury. She has already been ruled out of this game. Cam Brink still misses, so it does maybe equalize a little bit without Clark in there. But Plum, to me, like I said, Plum to me is a glue player for this LA club, And I believe that they will suffer immensely with her out of the lineup here. Yes, there are a few good players, but remember, LA had kind of just been mediocre so far, anyways, at 9-8 so far, or 8-9 so far this season. That's not dreadful, but uh, Plum really was expected to come in and kind of help this team improve off of last year's disappointing team, and I think she's definitely done that. Now, there's still some fine players here for LA with NECA and Gumake, of course, and Erica Hamby doing a good job, but I think this having Plum, like I said, maybe that's neutral. Clark, she's probably better than Plum. Is she? I don't know. Plum certainly has had a great career, I mean, you can say. But the Fever feels like they should have their rue of the roost here a little bit in this one. And also, LA is a big time over team, but that's usually with Plum in there, I think. They've gone over in 6 of their 8 road games. Indiana has gone over in 7 of 11 at home. These two teams are combined 22 and 13 to the over here right now. But like I said, I feel like it slows down considerably without Plum here in the lineup. So I'm going to go ahead and take the under in this one also here with LA and Indiana at 178.5. All right, and I've got one more here right now, and it's going to be, let me see, I got some picks here. A Fever for Larry on the money line, and Timmy says Fever spread. One more here right now with the Dream on the road. Looks like a complete mismatch on paper here right now. The Dream are 12-5. Seattle's 4-15. One of those bottom 3 teams that, quite frankly, just aren't very good right now. But they are a good cover, strangely enough. Seattle, 7-3 at home against the spread. Seems like they're always getting just a few too many points. I got to be honest there. Atlanta, 9-9 ATS, 4-6 ATS on the road. But every time the Seattle team, for as weak as they've been here so far, they did just beat the Liberty, though, too, at home, which was impressive. They also took Dallas down to the wire in a wild 112-110 game. Think about that. This Seattle team, with their poor offense, they've kind of picked it up here a little bit all of a sudden. So, yeah, come on. I got to probably take the Storm in this one. They keep covering. They don't win, but they keep covering right now, and I think that's something I'm okay with. I'm probably going to take Seattle here in this one. All right, let's see what anything from the chat here with this game. I'm taking Seattle here. Just feels like they're always getting just too many points right now from good clubs, and it's still probably tough to go up there and play pretty well. Look, Atlanta's a better team. I didn't even mention they're coming in here with a strong record, as I said, 12-5 overall, but they remain a profitable team at home, no doubt about it, when catching points. Dream are 12-6 straight up, but are on a 3-game spread losing streak as well right now. Okay, here we go. It's going to be Dream. Timmy has a Dream. And Timmy says under as well, or Larry says under. I guess that's it, because we already did the CFL game. So enjoy, everybody. Have a great sports betting Saturday. And don't forget, check me out over at Tony's Picks. If you want to get my picks for the UFC coming up in just a few hours, you can get those right now. And use the promo code TonyT at checkout to save 15% off those picks. I've got my top 3 plays. And remember, with my plays over here, you do have, these are my high-end boutique plays every time. My highest picks. You might see me on some other channels, some other shows, but these are my best picks here, and these are my best picks right here in the UFC tonight. There you see them on the screen. It's going to do it here for Night Moves. Really appreciate it. Catch you tomorrow with more Night Moves. We'll go over the Sunday action for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas.